Hi, lovelies. I'm Beth, and here we clear the noise and we claim our power. So, whatever internet tabs you have open, the to do lists, the anxieties, we're going to clear all of that noise and we're going to claim our power. So, for those of you who don't know me, as I mentioned, I'm Beth. This is my beautiful little puppy. Her name is, apparently she's too concerned about the candle right now. Her name is Macchiato, like a caramel macchiato. I call her Maki for short, Makalaka, all the different things. So she is my baby. And today I want to talk to you about, oh, she really does not like it. Today I want to talk to you about these over here. Out of her. So worried about it. I know. You're okay. See, it's gone. It's gone. Yeah, does that feel better? So today I want to talk about facing our fears. So I decided I'm going to get very raw and real and vulnerable with all of you today. I am Beth Temple. I am the founder and coach and owner of Soul Hardy. Started out years ago as Soul Hardy Coaching. I actually, years and years ago, probably honestly at this point, like 20 years ago, I had an employee who has now since become a very close personal friend who I was working in the corporate world, and he used to call me his life coach. And I was like, what? What is that? What's a life coach? And well, it just kind of stuck. And I realized that's literally what I do. I always say that my soul's purpose is to heal the world. And no, I'm not exaggerating. I really, everything I do is to help to create a better life. I've gone through a lot of trauma in my personal life, as we all have. And it has taken me literally a lifetime to heal, to learn, to come to peace. And so today my focus is on facing your fears. And you'll notice that hi, yes, you're so cute. You'll notice that this little one right here, I'm all about happy hormones. Mwah. And she gives me all the oxytocin in the world. I love pets, love fur babies. But so let's talk about facing our fears, right? I think a lot of times when we think about facing our fears, it can be very, very monstrous, I guess would be the best word. Well, monsters, fears, there you go. And I think that sometimes we forget that the reality is that everything that we desire is on the other side of fear. And you have to face your fears. You can't go around it. You can't bury it. You can't, at some point, it is going to rear its ugly head. And we have to decide what to do from there, right? So I think the big thing for me today that I want to talk about as far as facing my fears is this right here. I have thought about starting a podcast about, I used to years ago, I used to make videos here and there. And, when you're out on the internet and in the public eye, you get a lot of negativity. But I will say, I feel like I got more positivity, right? Because it's all about that intent, and people that are meant to find you will find you. So with facing my fears, the biggest thing with this is I had a lot going on in my personal life lately. And she's just staring at the candle. Yeah, we're clearing the noise. Are you meditating too? Yeah. Is it mesmerizing? It's so pretty. Huh? Do you want to see it better? See, this is what we do. So we focus, we're very present. What is it? What do you think? Yeah. Is it crazy? So with this podcast, I wanted to, like I said, I want to heal the world. And the only way that we can really do that is to get our voice out there, to not worry about other people and other things. And I am very much in my I don't care era. I'm going to do me. I'm going to live my life for me. And so, but even with that, even with loving myself completely, which took me a lifetime to get here, I will tell you that. But I kept putting it off. I kept procrastinating. And so sometimes facing those fears, I'm not afraid to come and do this. You look at any of my social media, you can see all sorts of different videos and things like that. I'm not afraid. I have a degree in theater. I have been acting and performing, done pageants. I have taught out in the community about healthy relationships. I have, public speaking is something that I do quite often. And, it's not that I'm afraid of that. But for whatever reason, this podcast, I had a lot of hesitation, a lot of procrastination. And there was always something as to why I didn't want to do it. And so sometimes facing our fears is not even necessarily that big monstrous thing that we have in our head of, I'm terrified of public speaking. I don't want to do it. Sometimes it's not something that big. Sometimes it literally is the procrastination piece of it. That's what I've been experiencing recently. Anyone else been experiencing that recently? Like, tell me all about it, because I know I'm not alone. So please share your stories with me. Share your thoughts, share your comments, because the reality is that facing our fears, procrastination is a big one. And I remember when I was younger, I used to see procrastination as my superpower. I remember being 18 and being in college and being so proud of myself that I could write a 20-page paper overnight and still get an A on it. I was proud of that. But the reality is, what was causing me to procrastinate? What was the reason behind it, right? Because there's always some reason behind everything that we do, right? And for me, for this podcast, there has been huge procrastination. And I think it was because of the fact that I was afraid I was going to get on here and I was going to cry, because I've had a lot of big change in my life. And I was afraid that I was going to be too vulnerable. And for me, part of facing my fears is realizing that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be sincere and genuine and authentic. And I used to hide that. I thought that crying made me weak, because that's what I was taught. I work in the corporate world, and I was taught that emotions are not a good thing to show, right? And so my whole goal in this podcast is to take you all on my journey, and hopefully you'll take me along on your journey, so that we can learn and grow together. We can be real. We can be authentic. We can celebrate the fact that we're not perfect is actually what makes us perfect, just the way we are. And part of facing my fears was getting on here and recording this, not worrying about what I said, what I sounded like. I had it in my head that I needed to have this script and it needed to go a certain way. And the reality is that that's not authentically me. That's not who I am. That is not the Beth that people have come to learn to love. And I know that what makes me so happy and so, I guess, able to connect. And I always say things come through me. I've always been told that I always know the right thing to say. I don't feel like I do, but I've always been told that I always know the right thing to say. And I've always 100% felt that it was because of the fact that I listen to my intuition. And although my brain, because of those fears, have been telling me, nope, there's always something else you have to do. Oh, you don't look as nice. Oh, you need to put makeup on, which I don't have any makeup on, by the way. It's that. But the reality is that being real, being my authentic self, that's what really matters. So when you think about facing your fears, one of the things I think is so critical is figure out, what are those fears? So I would challenge you, and I'm going to do the same. Think about one fear that you have, no matter how minuscule it is. Don't start with something big. That can be very overwhelming for us. But think about one fear that you have, and how are you going to face it? How are you going to face it? Maybe not today, maybe this week, right? Maybe you want to work up to it, and that's fine. What's that one thing that you want to face, and how are you going to face it, right? So for me, I committed to myself that I was going to face my fears, and I was finally going to sit down on my booty, and I was going to start this. And that whatever it looks like, however it turns out, I'm just going to, like I said, I'm bringing you all along with me on this journey. and realizing that it is all about a journey. Another recent way that I faced my fears is this. This is my coloring book it's called The Ritualist, a guided coloring book journey. And it combines journal prompts with coloring. And I will tell you, I have had a fear. Like I said, I've been doing this life coaching business for a long time. Oh, if you are interested in this, which you should check it out, it's amazing. I love it so much. It's a great opportunity to leverage either your art therapy to do some coloring, and there are some deep journal prompts if you want to do some more deep healing. Pick it up at any time whenever you feel like you need to close those internet tabs and really just focus and get to peace away from all of the chaos of everything. So that was another way that I faced my fears. Like I said, I've been doing this life coaching business for a lot of years. I've received amazing, glowing reviews from my clients. My challenge is how do I help more people? How do I really make a difference in the world, right? Because there's so much hatred, so many negative things out there in the world. And there are plenty of us that's not what we want. We want to learn and grow from each other and together and to create a better place. So with that, part of how I faced my fears was to take it and actually turn it into a book. You know, I have all this content that I had created that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. And so I decided I would put it on Amazon. And actually, a couple months ago, I had an epiphany about that. And again, my focus was on me and healing and peace and really, you know, taking care of myself. And sometimes that's what you need to face your fears. Get out of that hustle. Nothing wrong with hustling. I'm an amazing salesperson, did it for a lot of years. However, my focus is peace. My focus is authenticity. My focus is happiness. And in order for me to get to that, I need to let go and I need to trust my intuition and I need to face my fears, realizing that everything I desire is on the other side of fear. And I will tell you, I was sitting here going, how am I possibly going to make longer than a couple minute video, right? And I'm already at 12 minutes and 40 seconds on this. And yes, I feel like my thoughts are all a jumble, right? So I'll learn and grow and we'll get better with this. The biggest thing I want all of you to remember is, and I hope that I can be a part of your journey, and I hope that you will come along with me on my journey and subscribe and comment and share your journey with me. I would really love for this to become a community of us learning and growing together to close all of those internet tabs and get to peace. And so with that, face your fears. Do what I did. What doesn't mean you have to do a podcast. That's not what I'm saying. But face your fears. My fear today, and actually for the last several months, I've had this idea for months, honestly years. Today I faced it. Today I made the recording, and you can do it too. Whatever that looks like for you. I faced my fears. I made a book. And guess what? I could not be happier about it. So on that note, this cute little puppy is whining at me. And so I'm going to let her. I'm going to wrap up. Please, like I said, tell me one thing in the comments. I want to know, what is one fear that you are going to face this week? And then tell me how it goes. So like I said, so thank you so much for coming along with me. If you're interested in finding out more about all of my offerings, check out the link in my bio and follow and subscribe for more. Bye, lovelies.